Alright, hello everybody, Skyrim here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. As you can see, I have now been starting to pop the Hellslayer bounties for upgrading my gear. I'm doing this for the Codex, where you have to do the Terra Essences. You have to use them 10 times to get a guaranteed triple roll gear. We have now broken through the 500 ceiling of Paragon, so we are now officially fully into Inferno 3. I've only managed to so far craft a couple of pieces for my set items, that is. So I don't have everything swapped out yet. I'm still using most of my old gear. This is the rebuilding, reset process here that is honestly extremely painful at this point. So nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and just go through a run here. I am using a generalized raid build. I gave myself hailstone armor just for the sake of it, and running these bounties here. So let's get into the portal. Gonna bypass all that nonsense along the way. Now this one, okay, lightning storm, huh? All right, that's the ethics you're gonna give me to go against. I still don't like these little tiny circles that we have. Oh no. Are you kidding me? That happened right now? Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay. Well. Was not expecting that to go down during this session. That's unfortunate. Good thing I had 3 of my saved revives. But come on now. I don't know why. That's been happening a lot more frequently again. And it's getting bad. It's getting bad. I'm not entirely sure what I can do to exactly fix that. Other than maybe reinstall the game again. The timing of that was terribly unnecessary. Had it not been for the disconnect there, or whatever you want to call it, I don't even know what that is at this point. It's just utterly upsetting and annoying. I would have been fine. I would have been fine, but oh well. Nonetheless, that's done. That will count towards also my Immortal goals for complete 4 bounties. You just do one of those and it counts in one go. You don't actually have to turn that in. However, the drawback to doing these bounties is... Let's go ahead and go back to town with it. I'll show you here what I mean. The drawback is... Now, I had saved up all my bounties to where I was capped at 24. So I've been starting to burn through my saved ones. The only reason you have to turn these in, unfortunately, is... If you look at the Codex, you go all the way down to... Where is it? At the very bottom here. The Terra Essences. It counts here by just completing it. So you're thinking, okay, cool, I can abandon and pick it up again. Well, unfortunately, when you go to try to do that with the bounties, they don't allow you to do so. Click on the window here. I can't abandon it. So that's unfortunate in that regard. I get kind of why, because these are supposed to be some of the harder content in the game. But as they've said in almost so many words, sadly enough. But nonetheless, yeah, I can't abandon it, so I have to claim it. I have to turn it in. I have to suck up another, you know, whatever it is here. So let's go ahead and claim the reward, see what I get out of it. It's unfortunate I had to use a revive. That was completely unplanned, but I'm keeping that in for the sake of this video just to show that's an issue. It's an unfortunate one too, of course. We all know this. I don't know why that tends to be the case. I can add another one, it looks like. I can do another round, which is good because I am only currently at 7 of 10 now. I'll do one more before I run out of bounties for today, and I'll have to wait until tomorrow when I get, you know, 8 back, and then that will be another 2 runs. So I'll be able to get at least my 10 done tomorrow. But man, that did suck at interrupting me like that. That's highly, highly upsetting. Now, let me see here. So that's another key tip here. Make sure you have your resurrection stones, you know, charged. So now I got to charge this one all the way back up for another one, but I still got 2 left. In case the event that something like that should happen again, which it probably will. I'm not discounting that at all. I'm sure it will probably happen again, sadly. That's, of course, I go to record one particular instance, and lo and behold, that's exactly what happens. So, hey, like I said, I'm leaving it in for the sake of it to show this is ridiculous, this is unfortunate, and it can happen. So, anyway, there's that. Now, how did I get to 500 this quickly? I was started out the week at 492, and it is now, well, Tuesday as of this recording, so I got to 500 at the end of yesterday. Now, I didn't go hog wild and try to, you know, go insanely crazy over it. Actually, it was very, very smooth. It wasn't too much of a grind to get there, but I knew I wanted to because I was getting there pretty closely. Part of it was, let's see, raids. Raids was a big chunk. Raids got me, I think, a full level. So that helped. Getting my weekly reset raids in. So I did that. I didn't do Inferno 3 runs yet because, you know, everybody was kind of like in limbo between getting random groups together for Inferno 1 and Inferno 2 and Inferno 3 raids. Some people were already there and they're like, oh, all excited, and, you know, it's like, yeah, but then you have to go through the painful process of which I am going to be in for a while. So I might not be doing any Battlegrounds today at all because I have to sift through all my gear that I had saved up, all the gear that I had gotten. I had gotten all the gear out of my mailbox, by the way, as well, so I am down to just a handful of saved game mails again. So, yeah, I sorted all that stuff out. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of good pieces, and that's no surprise. But I have them sitting in my stash, waiting to sift through everything. I'm very particular about the stats that I like on my gear. I was really hoping to get, of course, which I will tomorrow, at the rate it's going. I'll get a guaranteed triple roll for the Terra Rift turn-in essences here. So I'll definitely be pulling that off and at least getting one good piece that I should be able to run with for quite a while. But then I have to go and kind of hodgepodge the rest of my gear together and going forward of all 500 plus Paragon stuff. So that's where I'm at right now, and that's why it's going to take quite a while to pull that off. But nonetheless, all right, getting back around to what I was talking about, I did the raids. I did Survivor's Bane, which ends, unfortunately, today. So if you're just now seeing this recording and want to use something for gaining experience very quickly, this was one thing that actually helped out a lot. Even doing, you know, sometimes runs would take, you know, 12, 15 minutes or whatever. Still, nonetheless, it would get me like a full bar on the experience down below. Now, currently, now that I am at 500 Paragon, I am now at still at a 30%. It didn't go down to 20. I'm surprised. I thought it would. I'm at a 30% XP deficit at 500 compared to the server Paragon. So that's where I'm at right now ever since breaking it. As you can see here, I'm almost at 501. So I'll probably be at 20% deficit at that point. Let's go ahead and close those out of the way, or not. Anyway, but yeah. So then Survivor's Bane was one. Fractured Plane will still be up for a few more days past this recording as well. So this was another one I did. I don't know how many runs I did of this. I think I only did 2. I honestly think I only did 2 Fractured Plane runs. And that got me a substantial amount. Whenever you go and complete a Fractured Plane run, you can still reclaim these 3 chests right here for experience and gear. And this was actually pretty helpful. I might run through these again just for the sake of getting more gear. And I was getting legendaries for through Survivor's Bane as well. So I might do that again right before it ends throughout the rest of today and try to get some more legendary pieces and get better rolls, if at all possible. So those are 2 key events that you can do right out of West March. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about combat rating. That's the key thing to take away from these tips for doing events. You do not have to worry about combat rating in these particular events to get stuff. So that's definitely the key point. Of course, raids you do. Of raids you have to worry about combat rating, so that's one thing to consider. What else I did was, of course, I ran through quick random dungeons for a little bit just to see how fast I could get experience in the time that it would take. Granted, we burned through random dungeons pretty easy in parties of 4. Plus, I wanted to get my daily gems at the process and get some extra wisps last minute for crafting set pieces for Inferno 3. So that's why I ran that. That's what got me... It got me some experience along the way, true. But not as much as you'd think. So it was a bit more of a slower grind that way, which is fine. But ultimately, what all that did was added to your Battle Pass turn-ins. And then once this bar here fills all the way up to the XP at the end, this is where you get a massive chunk sent to you. So by doing those activities, I was able to fill this up, and this helped out a lot. I was getting significant increases on filling this box up here for your activities bar. I'm almost actually capped out, it looks like, for this week again already. But our Battle Pass is going to be ending in a day and 8 hours as of this recording. So keep that in mind again. And like I said in a previous video, claim everything that you can along the way. Do not stop claiming it this week in particular, because the Battle Pass will be ending and resetting. And then when the new one drops, I would hold off to claim your stuff until, unless of course you're, depending on where you're at. If you're, you know, at server Paragon and further, of course, and we're in the red bar for experience, hold off on claiming your stuff. Wait to claim that on the following week for the most beneficial gains in experience, because you will be, your levels will be adjusted, the server level will be adjusted, and you will gain more experience when claiming it at the start of the week as opposed to the end. If you are still behind from the server Paragon and you have a green bar down below here, just claim it at your, however you want. Claim everything. You're fine. You're good. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base with all those kind of things. What I did to jump in 8 levels of Paragon at this point, so close to, and even past the server Paragon, obviously, for the deficit to get where I needed to be. Again, break it down one more time. It was, let's see, raids, Survivor's Bane, Fractured Plane. Those were the 2 big ones. Those were events, again, like I said, and you don't have to worry about combat rating at all with those, which is why that's very, very nice. The timing of that couldn't have been any better. Having both of those at our disposal for events to do straight out of West March, not having to go anywhere, and getting some decent gear along the way in the process of it all. It made for a very good XP push, I have to admit, and I'm glad that they were both here at this particular point in time, because that made a huge, huge difference. And then, of course, random dungeons, because, you know, you're going to need all the wisps and everything you can for crafting your new set pieces that we all have the painstakingly effort of having to go back through and rebuild all over again. So, yeah. That's what I'm going to be doing for a while here now until I get my gear straight. I'm not going to be jumping into any other further activities, so to speak. I can still run dungeons, obviously. I can still do Hellslayer bounties, no problem. Aside from random disconnects from Blizzard, it's getting on my nerves. So I might try just to uninstall and reinstall the game again. Sometimes that flushes that out. It's a weird, funky bug that tends to come along every now and again, every other patch. So it more than likely is something tied into their updates and their lack of removing the junk files every time they release a new build, a new patch build. But anyway, until next time, everybody, stay safe out there in the real world, and far as always, take care of yourselves as best you can, one day at a time. That's all we can do. Until next time, see ya.